Currently establishing my own gym brand, which is called Flex Bay, and I live in Benoni.
So you're just down the road, which explains why we've seen you at some of the satellites already, and we know you love poker. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved in poker. How often do you play?
So I've actually been playing poker since the age of 14. I was taught by my fiance as well as a lot of my family relatives, because we used to play it more on like a fun basis, not for cash obviously. And then I just decided, obviously when I was 18, I wanted to go on a competitive level and actually play like with.
So welcome back, and we have the players from the Super Slam now on the feature table after we completed the 6K freeze event. And we have some big names on this table. So we go three-way to the flop now. Michael Clacker, who won a World Series of Poker bracelet during the lockdown. So very famous for that now, South African to win a World Series of Poker bracelet. He's only the third one to do so. And he has bet out 2.3K on this flop. Gordon Padiachi, well known to a lot of the players as well. Going to call on that board with a gut shot straight draw. Kevin Khalil with the top pair, going to call as well. So Kevin's well in front here statistically at this point. He's got to dodge a few outs on the river.
My duties are done. I am back.
So Kevin takes that pot down on the re-raise.
Okay, Mike, bring me up to speed. What are the blinds?
Right, Gary, we're just sitting into it. I just sat down myself as well. The blinds are 300, 600 with a 600 big blind ante.
Cool.
And look at the big names we have at this table.
I wrote them down on the paper, so I know who's here. Michael Clacker with 36 bigs.
Yeah, I just was telling the viewers about his World Series of Poker bracelet that he won during the lockdown online.
$1,500 no-limit hold'em.
Yeah, so he's a World Series of Poker bracelet to winner.
Proper poker royalty.
Proper poker royalty. We have the ever gentleman-like Harold Brooks, brother to Alvin, who came runner-up in our 6K freeze event. Rob Blonsky was previously here.
Did you not know it's a Brooks relay on the feature table?
Gordon Padiachi, well known to everyone, of course, KK, Kevin Khalil.
Okay, so five-handed here in the 25K. Early doors, but looks like Gordon's been cranking it up.
Yeah, Gordon's got a lot of chips. I was getting some of the stories out there. Players bluffing into him, and he had it, and yeah, he got paid off. And Kevin as well. Kevin did Mariette. He flopped a set of king, shared straight with Jack 10, and he boated on the river.
Very nice.
So Mariette wasn't very happy with him because the money all went in on the turn.
Okay, so Gordon's called here. Mr. Brooks is also calling from the bottom by the look of it, or is that a raise? So Harold's raised up to 2,000. So the orange chips are the 1,000 chips. This is set number 3.
Yeah, Harold's very short stacked here, Gary.
Yeah, I just actually took his chips across the table for him because he was running a bit late, so he is a little bit short. And remember, this is a freeze-out event, so one shot only.
It's been checked by Gordon Padiachi under the gun. Harold, who was the raiser, is going to fire the continuation bet, even short stacked.
And that'll get
Harold's
through,
not going to let go, and he'll take that pot down. You know, if you look at Harold's stack of 29K now after that win, and you look at the other stacks of the table, Gordon Padiachi on 783 big blinds, 470,000. Kevin Khalil, 380 big blinds, 229, and Harold only on 21.6 there. So he's got a little bit of ground to make up.
That'll not bother Harold.
Still early days where the blinds are, Gary.
Yeah, for sure. Just I was surprised to see that there's such a large stack there.
Gordon, yes, he had been rock and rolling on the outer tables as he does. He induced a call apparently when he had the stone cold nuts, and got called by somebody, by Johan de Graaf, and took Johan's chips.
Well, okay, looks like Kevin's raised this up to 1.6.
folded all the way around. Wooden Padiachi in the big blind. He will fold as well. And Kevin will take that pot down.
So everybody sizing everybody up again
Yeah,
here.
and Michael Clacker also very short stack there, Gary.
Yeah, I spoke to Mike during the break actually. He's happy to have obviously done so well during the summer, and just happy to be back playing some live poker. It's been a while for him. So yeah, top guy. So this is hand number 4 of the 25k on this table, and it seems like forever ago that we started the freeze. And congratulations to Lum and to Elvin, first and second there. And I believe that there was a deal done with John Abrosi and JP, and they all took 80 something and then played for the trophy. So well done, lads, and good cash and a nice way to start the series. So who have we got here? Blonsky's got the 8-5 suited diamonds. And we've managed to spell his name wrong again. It's Blonsky, B-L-O-N-S.
I know he blows a lot of BS sometimes, so we'll just correct that.
Good friend of ours, Rob. Okay, Gordon Padiachi's deciding what to do with his 9-7 suited in the small here.
He's completed.
He looks like he's completed, and Kevin's come along.
So right, so we're 3-way to the flop here.
All red cards, so we'll see some black ones. No, all
Oh,
red.
plenty reds, eh?
Wow. So Gordon's picked up the heart draw.
And top pair, Gary. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
looking in good shape in this hand. 81% favourite to win the hand now.
Yeah, he's going to get raised here for sure, Blomps.
And let's see.
Gordon will come in heavy, 4.5
Yeah, he'll come.
here.
There we go. So it was bet 3.6 by Rob, trying to steal the pot.
13-6.
And
my
repopped
word.
immediately to 13-6.
Kevin will get out of the way. There's not enough diamonds there for
Yeah,
him.
and there's nothing for Rob either. Try to steal. Gordon says, look at that flop for me, guys.
Just gaining some credibility with his fellow
And
table mates.
when Gordon runs, he runs, Gaz.
I've played enough games with Gordon tonight.
And if he's got 2 suited cards, he's coming along. Our nickname for him. So I believe Martin Maroon is going to be joining us as well at the feature table. It's well known to everyone as well. He's taken his seat in seat 1. 49,000 and some change chips. Right, so Michael Clacker will be under the gun. He's folded his queen 3 off. Around to Martin, straight away into the action, sat down at the table. The graphics still need to enter him. He only just sat down, we only just got handed the card. So the tech team have to put him in. Yeah, Martin has come in, he has limped in. Action is on Harold Brooks in the big blind. And he's going to put a big raise in. Let's put the raise in. Action on Martin, he's going to call. Kevin in the small blind. Martin Maroon has Jack 10 suited. Rob Blonsky's out the hand. Gordon's out the hand. Kevin Khalil there with 4-2 of hearts coming along. So we are 3-way to the flop. And Harold, having raised from the big blind, has hit a big flop here, Gary. And Martin with a Jack 10 has been checked to him. He's going to try and take this pot down. Kevin will get out the way quickly. But Harold is going to just flat that off. Harold setting the trap here. Now he has a full house. Going to check it again. It's gone check, check. Turn the ace changes nothing.
Harold has the bet here to try and get some value. No, check, check.
It's gone check, check. He tried to induce another bet from Martin. Martin was having nothing of it. He said, obviously, if you snap called me on the flop, you got the king. And he gets away from it. So Harold gets some much needed chips. And Martin Maroon on 72 big blinds.
And Martin came in seat number...
Seat number 1, Gary.
Seat number 1, that's exactly where he is. Just updating my sheet in front of me so
And he
that,
sat down with 49.5. He's gone down to 43.5 now.
That's enough info for me. Just old man syndrome, can't read all the words. All right, so new hand.
Martin Maroon under the gun. Let's go
Martin
quickly.
has folded.
Round to Rob Blonsky, Jack 8
He'll
suited.
play this.
Yeah, definitely. Those are the hands he loves to play.
So he put
He's
the
raised.
biggest chip in. He's raised it up to 1.6. So Gordon Pagliacci to play.
He's folded. He's round to Kevin on the button with ace 7. That looks like a 3-bet there, Gary.
Yeah, Kevin's come out firing with an ace here.
Yeah,
so
he's 3-bet the button. So knowing Blonsky's range is wide from early.
I don't know. I think Blom's is not going to be.
I don't think
pushed
he'll be
around
pushed
here.
off. I don't think he'll be pushed off. He'll call.
Yep.
I'd like to see a flop with that hand. Jack 8 can flop well, Gary, especially suited.
Let's see. 9-9
Nothing
king.
for him there.
Ace high ahead.
And Kevin has position. It's been checked to Kevin. Gonna continue the story. Rep maybe ace king or something. Yeah, and a quick fold from Rob. And then to be fair, Kevin did have the best hand.
So Kevin was bluffing with the best hand as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a continuation bet with what he thought air, but he actually did have the best hand.
Okay, so Michael with 34 bigs here is in reasonable shape. You know, he's not in the
Danger zone yet. It's too early on in the tournament still, Gary. And for the viewers as well, don't get confused with the colors of the chips, because obviously everything's changed. These are different chip set from the first event. So the green chips in here are smaller denomination, not 50k like in the previous event.
I don't actually remember what the chips are, to be honest, the colours. But I think the whites are 100. Please tell us you're going to do that before you do it, CP, because that goes straight through my ear.
Yeah, the whites are the small denomination chips here, Gary.
Yeah, so I think the whites are hundreds.
Green's 500. Orange is 1,000, or would they be?
Yeah, I think so. We'll find out. We'll find out.
The red's 5,000. And the blacks are 10, I would imagine. Right, so Gordon Pagliacci takes that hand down. It's day 1 of the Super Slam, and we've had a fairly decent turnout, Gary.
I beg your pardon, sorry?
Well, so we've had a fairly decent turnout for the Super Slam.
Yes, so
I saw
far.
a number of tables outside there.
And it's open, of course, open for registration until later tomorrow. I did ask Caitlin to send me the updated schedule for it, and there it is, the updated schedule. Thank you very much, Mrs. Caitlin.
Yeah, she's very efficient, Caitlin.
And the starting stack 100, duration of levels 40 minutes, late registration first 12, and we'll end the day approximately 19:45. Day 2 tomorrow, 10 a.m. start, play to a winner, 15-minute breaks every 2 hours, and the blind levels you said are 3-6, did you?
Correct, Gary.
So we're on level 7.
Which shows you the deep stack play here with a 100,000 starting stack.
Yeah. Exactamundo.
Right, so let's get back to the action here. Michael Clacker has raised up the ace-jack suited from the button. And Rob has defended his big blind with queen 4 off. Wide range, Rob. He flopped a straight draw, but all diamonds, and none of them hold diamonds. So it's a scary flop for both.
Clacker's still ahead with his ace-jack though.
He's still ahead, but there comes the straight for Blonsky.
Nice
There are
turn.
now only 4 outs for for Michael to split the pot. The ace on the river is no good to him.
It's actually, he's going to think it is.
Yeah, he is, and he may bet it if Rob checks, and Rob has checked. And 900 bet from Michael on the river, trying to thin value his ace. But on that board, there comes the re-raise to 4,000 with the straight.
Message received.
So it looks like the orange chips indeed are 1,000, Gary.
The orange chips are 1,000. I have my list in front of me.
Ah, and I was quite correct.
Greys
We
are
call them
100.
white, but they are grey.
Greys 100, greens 500, orange 1,000, red 5,000, blacks 10k.
Yeah, so we got the denominations right.
We haven't seen this chip set
And
for
Michael's
a
going to pay him off.
while, and you'll see the bad news. Okay, cool. Let's have a look. Michael down to 24 bigs, not in the danger zone.
Yeah, but at 14,600 from a starting stack of 100,000, he's gone a little bit backwards
He has gone
in the
south.
7 levels.
South big time. But you know, he did bank $250,000 a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
He's doing all right.
good few months ago now. Yeah,
He's doing okay.
it's a heck of an achievement for a South African player, Gary.
Yeah, for sure. Outstanding, as they say.
Now, Kevin Khalil under the gun. Mr. KK. The big hand he had against Mariette, he had King and flopped a set.
So Queen H here, under the gun, 600 to call.
Suited. I mean, Kevin will like those cards.
That
And
looks
he's
like a
raised it.
raise, yeah.
Now, Kevin's got talking chips there.
Oh, he's not talking much. You're going to make a noise. It's 7 o'clock, which means we're going to make a noise. That's our lady outside doing the draw.
Don't forget to bring your driver's license or your ID card, as well as your MG card to the verification point, which is in the Northwest area.
So Martin Maroon is called with a Daniel Negreanu, 10-7 suited. Option on Gordon Padiachi in the big blinds. So 1,000 to call into the pot. He has called. So you can't see his cards, 3-way to the flop. There's nothing for the two players whose cards we can see. It's gone check, check. Check to Martin. Martin in position is going to have a little stab at this. When he's hit the 7 on the turn.
I think that's a better 2,000 from Martin. Yep. Gordon gets out of the way.
Nothing there for Kevin. Kevin will have to fold, so Martin will pick up a welcome pot. So tale of the haves and the have-nots, Gary, from the starting stack here.
I've got a
Split
funny
equally.
feeling that Gordon might actually be the chip leader by a long way in the room.
Yeah,
Just having a
I
look
think for the
around.
tournament, if you look around, I don't think anybody else can come close to that stack, Gary. And we know Gordon, if he runs well. And he'll accumulate chips very quickly.
Because his good lady wife's a very good player as well. Okay, so the guys just settling in, getting their drinks and everything sorted out. Very nice. So round to Mike Klecker, he's going to fold.
Yeah, no action to speak of so far. Queen 9 in the cutoff. Martin Maroon.
So what's Martin going to do here? Looks like he's calling the 600. And Blom's can get out of the way. Gordon Padiachi's going to call by the look of it.
Yeah, he liked to see flops.
And a check from Kevin with the 7-6 off. So let's see what the flop brings. Ace, Queen, 4. So the Queen is good for Martin here.
The Queen is good for him so far. And it wasn't a non-raised pot, and he's only against the 2 blinds. So you'll fancy that his Queen is way in front here, which it in fact is. Double checking his cards. He knows what he's got. the bet in. Quick folds from both the other players. He'll show them the queen. Buy a bit of cred.
So the bet was 1,500, 3 greens. That'll do the trick.
Gary, if we look at that mix of players, we're certainly going to see a lot of action on this table. These are not a lot of patient, slow players on this table. They're all action players.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Harold has rejoined us, yeah.
Harold is probably going to be the more considered of the...
of all those that are on the table.
Yeah, and maybe followed by Martin.
And Martin, in that order. But the other 4 players will be rock and rolling, as we say. Rob, of course, is always going to be active. And Gordon as well, and Kevin.
Having said that, Martin's quite vocal at the moment. Here we go, 9-8 for the blondes.
He's raised. Kevin is defending. Queen 7 suited. Round to Harold in the big blind with the 6-3. He lets that go. So we go 2-way to the flop. So nothing for Kevin on that flop. He will have to check. It's gone check, check. The jack changes nothing.
Dangerous board though, dangerous board. These guys are all...
Kevin will have a little stab at it and steal it.
Yep, and that's Kev's MO. He likes to steal it.
Yeah, Kevy, and your queen high was good, boy. You were in fact stealing with the best hand. Right, so we look at the leaders there. 473,000 for Gordon Padiachi. Down to Michael Clacker with 24 bigs. The bottom. Just over 14,000.
Okay, so 25k the day 2 will be tomorrow. Survivor Jam, which is the cash tournament, will be played tomorrow from 11 a.m. And not mistaken, the Monster Marathon on Monday, 1st of March. Probably Midoma on Tuesday, Grand Slam on Wednesday, Little Grand Slam also, Survivor Jam 2 on Thursday, and the main event starts on Friday. And there's a couple of tournaments after that, Monster Stack Turbo and the Last Chance Freeze on the Sunday. And that'll be a week tomorrow.
Right.
Long way to go.
So we've gone all the way around. Gordon has called from cutoff, and Michael has checked his big blind, so 2 to the flop. And Gordon's hit top, he's hit middle pip there, but he's way in front. He's gone check, check.
Clacker's going to bet the queen here. Sorry, Gordon's going to bet the queen.
Bet. And he'll take the pot down. Yeah, Michael will be, you know, although he's got 22 bigs at 13.4 from the original 100k, he knows he's going to start making moves now.
Oh yeah, he's not
Got to
going
move that in the opposite direction. He'll make a move and get it going in the right direction. But a super, super lovable person, Michael. Lovely, lovely man.
Well, that's a nice prize out on the casino floor. Someone just won 8,000 rand. Okay, Rob is going to fold these under the gun, I'm sure. So nice hand for Gordon here to have a little go at
He
an
just
hijack.
limps in. It's Gordon's MO. He likes to limp in a lot, see a lot of flops. Kevin folded there, strangely enough, the ace-6. Completed by Michael, and Martin with the ace-jack in the big blind is limped to him. Fancy Martin will raise this. He won't allow the limpers for free.
Yep, there's the raise. Up to 10k. Wow.
Wow, that's a big raise.
Well, he's sending a message out there. The other two will have to run away. What's Clacker got here?
Clacker had a junk hand, we saw it.
No, we
He
didn't.
was just completing. We did see it when his first action was on him.
Unfortunately, we didn't see his card, so. So the ladies' tournament's been going on outside, lots of fun for them. Very much a fun tournament. Thanks to Monster Jam for supplying the drinks and some prizes.
Yeah, the ladies are having a bit of fun out there. Quite a few tables I saw, Gary.
Yeah, a couple of tables. They separated them into pros and amateurs. So,
Oh, did they separate them like that?
yeah, I don't know. My wife got on the pro table. She should have been on the amateur.
Must be your coach, Gaz. Must be your coach.
Yeah, but to be fair, the ones who could play were put together, the ones who couldn't were put together. And Beatrice Toffee Jelly, our famous dealer, was coaching the ones who don't. So good. So Kevin with the fours here. Folded around to Martin. 1-5 to call. And that may get round. Let's see. Gordon's going to see it. Heart draw for Kevin.
And the bottom pair for Gordon. He can't continue there. He was way ahead of Kevin. Kevin won't show him. And so as you've seen, Gordon and Kevin are going to be very active on the table, as is their style of play. Kevin sitting in the perfect seat for him. He loves to be in the middle of the table, right where he can see the flop well, holds court to everyone. Always entertaining to be on the table with Kev. Right, so Kevin will be under the gun. 4-2 offsuit. He's going to fold the 4-2 offsuit under the gun. Harold Brooks in the hijack, 9-6 offsuit.
There's a familiar picture, Mr. Harold Brooks.
He's going to fold that. Michael will fold the jack 6
Oh,
and a
look
couple
at
of
this.
pocket aces on the button.
So Martin has picked up the weapons of mass destruction here, and he's obviously going to raise it up a bit.
Yeah, he's raised it up a bit.
And Rob will get out of the way on the small blind. Let's see if Gordon gets sticky in the
Yeah,
big
two
blind.
suited cards, Gordon's calling. We know that.
Yeah, but the raise was quite small, to be honest, into a
Yeah.
600, so it was almost like a,
That was 3x, just over 3x.
which is quite small into a stack of 400,000.
Yeah, absolutely. And Martin wanted action, he's got it.
So there is a piece there for Gordon,
He's found the 9.
and the backdoor clubs, of course. So Martin will continue the story. Gordon looks like he's going to get sticky here. Maybe just see one on the turn.
Now, he might just call to see the turn. There it is. Call goes in.
If we get a club on the turn, then that'll be an interesting development. Those spades, so
2 of spades doesn't help Gordon at all.
Gordon's 6% here, so he's in pretty bad shape. I think Martin bets, and then
Yeah, he's got 2 outs because of the cards that have been folded, Gary. There's only a single 9 and a single 4 left.
and Martin's doing a bit of Hollywood in here, I'm sure.
It's a very straighty board as well. He's like thinking, you know, could you have 10 jack? Oh, I really hope not. I'm going to bet this.
And he'll fold.
Yeah, and he's going to bet and fold.
He's got no options really here. He's got second pair. Martin will show.
Shows the American Airlines. Takes down
Well
a
done.
nice pot.
I think you got your max value there, 5,600. So
Yeah, it's a nice little win for him there.
okay, so Gordon,
777 big blinds, Gary.
that's what I was going to say.
Sorry, guys. Just it looked so pretty, didn't it?
Yeah, so 300, 600, 600 on the big blind ante. So hand number 16 on the table for the 25k. So Harold will be under the gun on the right hand side there. So that's a nice picture of Harold. Looks very tanned. Obviously been living the good life over our wonderful summer we've had in South Africa.
It's folded round to Martin in the cutoff with King 5 offsuit. Going to the muck, round to Blonsky. On the button, 8-3 off.
Rob
Going to
might get
fold
rid of
that one. Jack 3 for Gordon, small blind.
And he's going to
Gives
give
the
Kev
walk, gives Kevy the walk. Kevy shows 10-8.
And Kev will take that.
Yeah, he'll take a walk any day. Except when he's got aces or kings, then he'll moan, why did you fold?
So I said to Rob, why do you want the Polish flag? He said, because I'm Polish. I said, speak Polish to me. And he couldn't.
Well called, Gaz. Called the bluff, did you?
Yeah, so Looks like Gordon's suffering with a bit of heat there. He's got that old coke
Yeah,
can
he's been
going
putting it on him
so
a lot, eh? Maybe he's got a headache that he's putting it by his
maybe I
eyes.
could get him to pay me to go and fan him.
Yes.
You know, wealthy man like him. I could stand there and be a punkawalla, just fan him nicely. He would,
Punkawala, there's a word we haven't seen. Very famous in a lot of the hotels down on the south coast.
I had it offered to me. I was down in Kurla, God's own country, and they didn't have air conditioning, but they said they'd get a man to stand by me all night and fan me while I slept. I declined the offer, and I did have a sweat on most of the night, but I didn't fancy somebody I didn't know fanning me all night. Relatively cheap, as I recall. Anyhow, back to the action here, and looks like Harold is sticking in a race here, 2-1.
He hasn't played a hand for a while. Been called by Kev in the small blind because it was limped to Harold.
Queen 6-6, 2 hearts, check.
The ace high of Kevin's still well in front. It's going to be who bets, yeah. Kevin betting because it's checked.
1-5, I think it was.
Yeah, and Harold getting sticky with only the king high. And that's no help to him.
It is, Kevin's got a pair on the river.
Yeah, and he's going to bet it. They're getting called down with the king high.
Harold's like a little tap at the table on the way back. You wretch. River. He was ahead all the way, Harold. There was no river.
Harold's just trying to say that he had a bigger ace, that Kevin got lucky with a 2.
So for the people who've been asking me what time we're finishing, officially 7:45, but it may run over 8 a little tiny bit depending on the levels. I'll get old HP to have a look at the timing clock for me in a little while, and we should be able to work it out ourselves.
Yeah, Gaz, I've been told it will end up slightly over 8 because of the later start to this Super Slam, because of everything else that was going on.
Ah, cool.
That is the official word from Caitlin.
Okay, so we'll chuck this up, and we'll chuck it up on the screen during the middle of the hand, when the hand ends.
Meanwhile, it's folded all the way around. Martin is called from under the gun. Kevin in the cutoff with king 6 suited. That's Gordon with the king 6 is called. Kevin has folded the 10-6 off.
Harold calls.
Completes the blind in for a cheap price. Check there. So we're only switching with the other players with what Martin has. He'd limped in under the gun. They go 4-way to the flop. Michael will check. Nothing for him there. Martin going to rep that he limped the ace. There's nothing really for any of the other players. I think they're all going to get out of the way. And they do, and Martin will pick up a pot.
I think Martin probably had an ace, to be honest, but
Yeah,
we'll see. Okay, there we go. So the next break is in an hour and 26 minutes. So an hour and 26 minutes is 8:35. So I think it might be before then. We might stop before then, I don't know. 28 entries, 27 left in, so we've lost 1 player already. Average stack of 103,000. Total pots of just over $500,000. So quite healthy numbers there. And whether or not the next break is when we finish, we will find out.
Yeah, it's quite strange. We've only lost 1 player. If you look at Gordon's stack, so he took a bit from everybody. It wasn't from knocking players out, Gary.
Sharing the love. Right, back to the table. Pocket 7s for Rob.
In a raise. Up to 1.6. Round to Kevin in the cutoff with 10-8 off. Kev says, I'll see a flop with those. Harold is folded.
So Michael folds one of his 7s.
Martin will call to defend his big blind.
Four clubs.
All clubs there.
And they've all got a club.
Yeah, they all
7, 8,
have.
9.
And
if they could make a straight flush between them.
correct.
With that flop.
They have got a straight flush between them. Exactly right. The 9, the 7, and the 8 go together with that flop for a straight flush. For a 2-way straight flush, Gary. Jack eye and a 10-eye straight flush
Indeed.
there.
Okay, so first to act here is, or first to make any move is 2.3 from Rob. Looks like Kevin has called that off quite quickly with the 10.
Yeah, and he's got the 8 of clubs back that he thinks. Meanwhile, Martin is sitting with the best hand. He has the highest club in his hand, and he has the jack.
Rob looking on intently there.
It's like a re-raise from Martin there. And he gets rid of Rob's pocket 7s.
12.3.
Yeah, big raise there.
That'll get rid of Kevin as well. Kevin will say, oh, you're trying to protect against the flush draw. Correct. But he does have a redraw there as well. That bet was designed to get rid of bigger clubs. Kevin's been making the right decisions all day, so I suspect he will fold here. Kevin asking how much is there. He just wants to know how quick he's going to put it forward.
Kevin running through the hand in his mind.
There will be a speech in a minute like I'm laying down the best hand here.
Yeah.
Which is
Can't believe I'm
standard,
folding
Kevin.
this. Is
Told
his
you.
other one.
And that's the right decision. Martin will show him one of the cards. I don't know which one he showed.
Probably should have showed him the jack.
Well, Kevin made the right decision there.
Yeah.
He worked it through. So, you know, you don't want to be spewing off trips when you're paying 25 grand for your stack and it's a free zone. In fact, I think this is the first time the 25k has been a free zone, if I'll recollect correctly.
Yeah, it's traditionally been a re-entry, Gary.
Yeah, I think so. And a lot of the, I'm going to call them re-entry players, brackets, the richer ones, are missing. And maybe that's because it's a free zone, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering where Moaz and Ahmed and the other Cape Town crowd are, and a lot of the Durban lads and the Botswana crowd of Nicholas Zackham and Mr. Sun. They're all MIA. Maybe
No
they're going to
idea.
come next week for the 40k, the Grand Slam, and then the main event, Gary.
It's a possibility. Kevin with the ace-2 gets out of the way.
You know, 11 days away for some is quite a long time away from their businesses, etc.
Well, the good news is this is my business.
Yeah, for yourself, but for a lot of those that are traveling from KwaZulu-Natal and Cape Town and that, and down from PE, etc.
When I say this is my business, it's my job.
Yeah, I'm a part-time amateur sitting next to you.
You flatter us. Martin with the guess what I got cards, and the clacker's all in with ace-9.
Yeah, he's from the button. It's folded to him. He needs to pick up chips. Now he's right down to 11k. He knows he's in the danger zone. He knows what to do, Michael. Fold round to Rob.
Rob will fold.
Yeah, 6-2 off. You can't call that. Says, I'd like to support you, but I can't. Mike will pick up the hand. Shows the ace. Keep the reputation intact.
Gets 21 big blinds into the bargain.
Button moves. Blinds are going up next hand, I believe, Gary.
Yeah, 400, 800.
800 big blind ante.
Yep.
So Kevin will be the under the gun player. And notice how Harold shuffles the chips. Alvin shuffles them in the exact same way. They have 3 chips in the one hand, and it's just the one over the other, one over the other, one over the other. They do the identical thing. It's a family trait.
The brothers.
So Kevin under the gun with the pocket queens. He's found the ladies.
Let's see what his sizing is going to be. Pot's 1.5. He'll want to make some money here, so he's probably going to bet the pot's nice.
He's
More,
bet
20.
over.
2,400 by the look of it.
Yeah. There's pocket 2s for Harold. Harold's not very deep anymore though, eh? It's only 21 and 2.4, over 10% of his stack to call in there.
He's got one taker. Martin with the King Jack here.
He might come along. It's a lesser percentage of his stack.
Looks like a call from Martin. 982 for Robin the Small. He's priced in.
He's priced in, he's going
And,
to come along.
Gordon will be
Gordon's
in
priced
for
in as
value.
well, absolutely, for value.
Kevin's like, cheapers. Did
I
we just get
raise
a
and I
family
get,
pot?
yeah, 5 players to the flop.
Let's see,
Only 1 player sat out.
and there's the killer, the ace.
Yeah, the ace will slow everything down.
Kevin doesn't know, nobody's got an ace.
Yeah, and Harold picks up the straight draw,
Harold can bet
and
that.
he's going to rep it. He's going to rep the ace with the straight draw. Puts in the
Nothing wrong.
bet.
Good bet.
They'll get rid of quickly of 3 players.
Kevin will be a bit more reluctant.
Kevin, look at Kevy. He's not happy, bunny, eh? He says, you got lucky, this, that, the other. Harold won't show him. Slide them carefully to the muck and rake in much needed chips for Harold there, Gary.
Yep, but unlucky for Kevy there. It just got less and less likely anyone was going to fold as it went round.
But that's a big gain for Harold where he was on his stack. He had 21,000 at starting that hand. He gets to over 30,000. Well, 50% increase in his stack.
And he gets it all through with pocket twos and a draw. Well done. Well done indeed, Mr. Brooks. So, Harold Brooks came to the table with 25,800. He now has 32.
It's moved slightly up.
So we have a news flash. The news flash is that this is the last level for the day.
So this
Level
is
8.
the last level for the day, Gary.
It is. So when we have finished this level, we will we won't be going home because we have to run the stream for another half an hour to run it out and then do our tidy up, etc. But the players and that will be finished for the day. That will enable them to go and play some time in the casino, which is nice.
So 40-minute levels, and we've only just started this level, so around 8 o'clock, Gary.
Yep. Around there somewhere.
Thereabouts.
Yep. We'll look at the time and clock nearer the time. So
Robert's got the tick here.
Nobody
Bet
wants to
and
call it.
everybody folded. He had the best hand anyway.
It doesn't matter when it comes to late, it's not fun.
Kevin's
Okay.
still moaning about his pocket queens, and now the queen comes on the flop, and now having a good mutter, or Kevy.
It's what he does.
Chief abuser of dealers, Kevin Khalil.
Oh well, I've seen him have some tirades with dealers. Eh?
He never fights with the other players, really. Nicely with the dealers.
Well, he's had a few choice words with me in the past.
I think with everybody's played with
I
Gaz.
called him all the way with 7-2 once,
And you were good?
and he had pocket kings, and he wasn't collecting chips at the end of it. Yeah, so he wasn't happy. I called him with a 7-2, spiked to 7 on the flop, turned to 7, and actually riveted 2.
Oh, my soul. That must
Talking of twos, Michael Clacker's in here with ace jack. Martin's got pocket twos. I think he'll probably get rid of these.
Yeah, it's too much for him to call.
Yep.
Players behind.
Rob and Gordon will get out of the way. Let's see what Kevin's got.
Kevin might call you, Gary, with his stack.
Yeah, it's 12,000. So Kevin's in the small blind, so he's already got soldiers in the field. Yeah, he's going to call it off. Let's see what Harold's going to do.
Harold
And
folds.
we'll have
And
our first all in.
Harold folded a 6, so that's the good news for Michael. Bad news for Kevin.
That jack is not going to be welcome
Yes,
news
just
for
about
Kevin.
just about a lock on the hand.
Yep.
And there's
it
the
is.
lock.
That's it. All done. Brother Michael doubles up. Kevin, fair call there.
Yeah, with the stack size, Gary.
Yep.
Chance to eliminate a player. Small percentage of your stack to call.
Oh, yeah, it's priced in for sure.
Helps on the small ones. I don't mind. That's good tomorrow. It's okay.
A little bit of banter amongst the players. So Martin Maroon will be under the gun. 62.2k. 800 to call. $10.9 under the gun, into the muck. Round to Roblonsky, 10-3 folded. Wooden Pariachi with 7-5 folded. Queen
Kevin
9
will call
suited.
here.
Yeah, I think he's going to raise, Gary. You know, Kevy, if he's going to come into the pot from the button, he's raising.
Yep.
And he has raised.
Mr. Brooks folds.
Quick fold, round to Michael.
He'll
Yeah, I
also
think
fold, I think. Mind you, 2-4, maybe it gets
2-4
sticky with
suited.
his
Is he
big
going to get
blind.
sticky because he just picked up a few chips? He does
But
get
he's
sticky.
also got an ante in as well.
Yeah, he's got to watch the diamonds though.
Yeah, I don't want to see diamonds, that's for sure. So not a bad flop for Mike.
No, he's picked up a straight draw. Checks. Kevin will continue. He was the initial aggressor and it was check, bet, fold.
Yeah, the king was the scare card there, unfortunately, for Mike. But good try.
Yeah, his stack is so small, he's not chasing a gut shot there.
Yeah. I love it, Kevin holding court.
That's what I said, Gary's in his favourite place, in the middle of the table, from whence he can hold court and can see the flop nicely. Will be his best position.
But one of life's gentlemen.
Yeah, I gotta love Kevy.
One of life's gentlemen, indeed.
Right, so action will be on Rob under the gun. The 10-7 suited. He likes those hands, all those gapped connectors, and especially when they're suited.
He's a floater. It's our Robert.
He's raised. Doesn't limp into pots. Folds all the way around. To Harold on the button will fold.
Blacker will be
I
in
don't
here.
Jacko's folding. Because he knows Rob very well. They've played a lot against one another. So he'll know that Rob's capable of raising with a wide range.
He's got to repop this.
He doesn't have a particularly big stack. So he's got to decide on the sizing of the re-raise.
6k. Looks like about 7.5, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little heavier.
Looks 8. Martin's gone, and Rob won't hang around. Well done. Nice bet, Michael. And Michael climbing out of the hole.
Yeah, and a nice size bet there. Made it too much for Rob to be priced in. Because he knows Rob, and he knows Rob will, if you priced him in, Rob's coming.
So Gordon Pariachi, top left the picture there, between the Ewok and the Blonsk, will be our player to be under the gun. Kevin, of course, affectionately known as the Ewok when he's got his hood on. If you don't know what an Ewok is, Google it.
Go and watch Star Wars.
Yeah, what's Star Wars? One of those little teddy bears that rides a hover scooter.
Yeah.
See, they're all smiling now, even thinking about it.
And especially with the facial hair Kevy's grown during lockdown.
People are going, oh my word, he does look like an Ewok. Wait till he's got his hood on.
Yeah.
All he needs is a hover scooter. Talking of hoods and hover
Hey.
scooters, Ace King.
In the hijack. A raise.
Old for Harold. Back to Michael. Ace 10, and so Michael's going to have a think about this on the button.
He's gonna.
Mike's probably going to flat this off. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he'll flat this.
Actually, it looks like raisin chips.
It does look like raising chips. He's gonna get the bad news because Kevin,
Oh, Kevin will put him in.
Kevin will put him all in.
Kevin will put him in.
Because of the size of his stack, Kevin will put him all in.
That's the right move. Or it's 10% of Kev's stack to put him all in. There you go.
There we go.
Message sent. Did it get understood? Kev's re-raises to 42,000. Yeah, not.
Yeah, but he knew that was putting Mike all in. That's
No. The graphic was wrong. He said 4,000.
Yeah. No, he put him all in. Those are black chips there, the 10Ks. And there's it. I re-raised to find out where I stood. Folds the ace-10. Kevy says to him, good fold.
Calls here, if he shows.
He does, he shows him the ace-king. Tap of the table by Michael.
Yep, if you want to mess around in my pot, Mr. Kevin says, you got to pay the price.
Beware, you 3-bet me, I'm going to come over the top.
And he had the goods, obviously. So Kev will have enjoyed that moment. He's now under the gun for his punishment, so let's see what he's picked up. 10-2, they'll be in the muck. And looks like...
Harold's absent from the table at the moment.
yeah, he's out of his chair, so his cards will be dead.
800. 1,008.
So Michael...
Ace-9 raising from the cutoff.
I like the fact that Mike just took a hit, but he's still active in there.
Yeah, no, he shake that off quickly. Found out where he stood with ace-10.
Gordon's going to defend his soldiers in the field. And we'll be off 3 ways to the pot. 6,600, the prize. 5, 4, 6. Nice flop
Michael
if you're
flops
Mike.
it, eh? Beautiful. And the only problem, the redraw, is he's going to get paid by Gordon. Gordon's got an up and down straight flush draw.
Well, he's got the straight flush draw, of course.
The 2 of hearts or a 7 of hearts are the only 2 cards that can beat Michael.
You imagine if the 2 of hearts comes.
Oh.
That would be super sick, eh?
Sick.
Because Clacker's just putting it all in. And let's not forget that Martin's actually got the 10 of hearts as well. And he's going to bet it, which will be great news for Michael.
Yeah, it's been bet call, and Michael's just flat called. He's got the stone cold nuts there at the moment. Whoa, there's a straight flush there. But he flopped the nut flush.
Yep.
But there's enough to keep the other players interested. Martin's going to continue, which is fantastic news to Michael.
Gordon
Martin
is,
actually
gonna give
has
it up, I
nothing.
think.
And he's gone all in. Yeah, after Gordon folded, Mike has gone all in. He takes in a very healthy pot there. Hey, Mike's moved up. Very accomplished player. You don't win a World Series of Poker bracelet if you're not an extremely accomplished player. Right, so the button is moving. Kevin will be in the big blind. Harold will be our under the gun player. Right, so Harold under the gun. 9-5 off, the Dolly Parton. Working 9 to 5.
So Harold's back. Obviously been recovering break. Mike Clacker likes these aces, so I think he's
Any ace short-handed. You know, the younger, more aggressive players, Gary.
Martin with his suited connectors coming on in a cut-off, so what has Robert got?
10 minutes and they flash up the flashes.
10-7 again. He likes
I'm going
these.
to fold that.
Gordon with 7-2 here, suited.
But they're suited.
He's going to complete with the
Gordon
small.
loves any 2 suited cards.
When the club comes on the turn, you're raising all of your club draws on the turn. So what else do you have?
Did Gordon call there?
Yeah, Gordon called, and there's been a big 3-bet here by Kevin with the pocket queens. Found pocket
okay.
queens again.
He doesn't want to get into trouble again with his pocket
No.
queens. And there will be a speech when his hand
Yeah.
finishes, for sure.
Action on Martin with the suited connectors.
What was
Michael
Kevin's
has folded.
raise?
He's up to 9,000.
So 7-2 for him to play. And they both
They're all
fold.
going to fold.
Okay.
Kevin says, why are you all folding now?
Yeah, but
He'll show the pocket queens.
he got paid this time. Which is good.
Yeah. Not so well known fact about Gordon. He's a real gentleman around the table. He's a black belt karate man.
Oh yeah, he's proper, eh? You don't
Proper
mess with him.
martial arts, eh? Not just karate, but a couple others.
Oh, he's a Kung Fu Charlie, this one.
He is really accomplished in the martial arts
You just don't
field.
want to mess with him, put it that way. It's better to have him as
Yeah.
a friend. So Michael Clacker will be your under the gun player, bottom right of your screen. No, top right of your screen.
Yeah.
9-8 offsuit, they're in the muck, so that'll come round to Martin Maroon. And I don't think Martin will be hanging on to 4-2 off for very long. So Mr. Polish Blomski, what have you got for us?
10-9 offsuit and the cutoff.
No, not interested. King
Folded,
10 for Gordon.
King 10 on the button. Gordon will play that from the button. Now, is he going to raise now for a change, or is he going to limp in again?
Kevin will call.
Yeah, it's just been limped in by Gordon.
And that's a check, and so we'll go 3 ways to the floor.
3 ways to the flop. Kevin first to speak.
Well, there's a piece for everybody.
Yeah, a little something for everyone.
Gordon's got the up and down, obviously.
With the
queen
bottom
for
pair.
Harold, and of course the 10 for my friend Kevin Khalil.
Has been bet. Kevin will
Kevin.
get out the way with the bottom pair.
He
Dangerous
knows.
board.
He knows. So 9
knows.
outs here for Gordon Pagliacci. That's not one of them.
Yeah, Kevin's going to be shaking his head. He would have picked up 2 pair on the turn. Yeah, Gordon's not going to fold with up and down. After that small bet. And the river's no help to him.
So Harold's queen is going to hold up here.
Yeah, it's going to hold all
And,
the way.
This will go bet fold. And Gordon would have said fold there, obviously.
Yeah,
And Kevin's saying, I had you beat there,
Yeah.
I had 2 pair.
he would have turned 2 pair. But he got out of the way. So, welcome addition to Harold's chips there.
For
Both
sure.
him and Michael have added to their stack since they came to the table, Gary. Came extremely short stack, both of them.
Yep, they're doing okay. Harold was 25,800.
And he's well over the 30,000 now, as is Michael.
Michael also had 25,400. So they picked up a few chips.
Right, Martin Maroon under the gun, the Queen 7 off, into the muck. Round to Blonsky.
So we're sweating with the Blonsky.
He's raised.
Gordon 7-2 again. Kevin ace-4 on the button.
To the muck.
5-2 for Harold.
Quick fold.
Thank you very much. Jack 10 for Michael.
He may defend you with that hand,
Oh,
Gary.
for sure, for sure. Best hand in the deck. Jack 10 of spades.
So with all your coaching, is your good lady a member of the Jack 10 club?
Oh, for sure. Years ago.
Years ago. Right, so we go to the flop. We don't know what Rob's holding, but he's got the position. There's nothing for Michael on that flop. So if Rob continues the story regardless of what he's holding, Mike will have to fold.
Yep. And my reckoning is that Mr. Blonsky has a good ace. I'm going to say, put my neck on the line and say he has ace queen. 3-3. No redraws, no nothing. Mr. Clacker, time to fold.
3,000, 6,000.
Oh wow.
Setting up a potential
I
move.
think he's setting up a move on the river here.
It's definitely calling to set up a move because there's nothing draws or anything for him.
There's a card he can bluff at.
Gonna check. Rob won't slow down, and if you did have a big ace like ace king or something like that, there's enough found it.
Well, that's a red chip gone in there, I think. That looks like a 5,000.
Yeah, it's 5,800 is the bet.
And that's a snap fold. Let's go back to Blonsky, see if he shows his cards.
Only like 7 hard.
No, he didn't. So we'll get HP to get us a timing screen when he can. And we'll have a look at how long's left on the level.
I reckon roughly 20 odd minutes, Gary.
18 minutes.
18 minutes, there we go.
seconds.
Roughly 20 minutes, just under.
So that's going home time, folks. 18 minutes and 30 seconds.
Still 28 entries, only one loss to the field so far.
And that must be Johan de Graaf, I suppose.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Okie, thank you very much. And we'll go back to our feature table. And the Blomsky's got King 9 under the gun.
That'll fold. Round to Gordon, quick fold, 7-6. Kevin with any ace here, he's going to be raising.
That blue light around the table makes Harold look like he's got a neon light on his lap.
He does.
So Harold's going to raise this up, I think.
I think so.
He's picking up a chunk of those orange chips, which
Yeah,
are
he's
worth
three-
1,000 each.
3 betting here.
He likes his
in
suited
position.
King Queen.
On the button as well. 3 betting in position. Round to Martin, Queen 10.
Martin to get rid of this.
Yeah, it's been raised and re-raised. And Kevin won't like to be re-raised with the ace. I think he'll get rid of it.
Oh no, he's going to call the
He gets
3 here.
sticky.
He's going to get heads up with Harold, trust me.
He's gone. He's got sticky with ace 7.
And rightly so.
Oh,
Piece for both of them. Harold's going to bet here.
yeah, and Kevin checked because he flopped he flopped the ace.
Yep. Harold has got a piece of this, obviously, with the king.
So he's going to continue his story.
That looks like a chunky size bet there, maybe about 4.5.
It's 8.5. I think that's a red
Oh,
chip
it's a
there.
red chip in there, is there?
8,500.
Kev will be thinking, I've got a raggy ace, does he outkick me here?
Yeah, he 3-bet me pre-flop. That's the problem.
Yep.
When you call with a raggedy ace, when you've been 3-bet. Yeah, you see. And he gets him to fold the best hand.
That's a good play by Harold.
A very strong play by Harold.
Harold will be telling him he had him beat, of course, because
Oh,
but we all
obvious.
know that Harold's a thief on the poker table, so it's fine.
Kevy will find out in half an hour's time.
Yep. And then he'll be calling Harold a thief. I'm just doing it up front. Nice play by Harold Brooks, very
Yeah,
nice.
good strong play. 3-bet the king queen suited. Was checked to him. Continued the story.
Yeah, I think if Kev had bet the ace, it might have been a different story, but there we go. Okay, Gordon is under the gun. King 8, I don't think he'll be holding on to these too long.
Now they'll go into the muck fairly quickly. Round to Kev, 5-3 off. Round to Harold in the cutoff.
King 7 in the muck.
Michael on the button, King 4 into the muck. Martin in the small blind. Just flat called. Rob with an ace in the big blind has been limped to him, he's checking. And he's flopped the ace. I don't know what Martin's holding, of course.
Well, Martin's checked.
He's checked. Rob bets 1,000.
If he calls quickly here, he's obviously got an ace as well.
He's re-raised. Immediately it's gone raise call. 10 doesn't change anything for Rob's hand. We don't know what Martin's holding. Putting in the bet. Fairly heavy one.
Quite a few chips gone in there.
Yeah, a few oranges there.
4-4.
Call.
It's a call. Blomsky's having none of this, eh?
No.
Another 10. It's a 5,000 bet there from Blanche.
And a call.
And what is that? He turned over. Jack King.
King Jack, yeah.
Didn't believe he had the ace.
No, because of the no pre-flop raise, Gary.
Yep.
Blonsky picks up a reasonable size pot there.
Yep, 13,000 to the good. Well done, sir. So Michael's sitting on 32 at the bottom and Gordon on 561. That's a bit of a difference, huh?
Massive swings there between the haves and the have-nots at the table.
So under the gun, first to act will be Mr. Khalil, sender of picture.
Action on, Kev.
Ladies and gentlemen, your blinds are up 5 and 10,000. 5,000, 10,000, and 10,080.
Folded all the way around. Martin Maroon has
All in.
put it all in with King 2, trying to steal some blinds. Hurting after that last hand.
And he'll pick up 2K for his trouble.
Got any of the streams on the laptop there, Gary? No.
Yeah.
Not checking it out. Oh, there we go.
YouTube is, I've no idea. Don't know how to escape out of this. Doesn't want to know, let me click out of it.
There it is. Stream's running and out to the people.
Nothing really happening, as
No.
they say.
Just check if the Facebook stream got up and running or not. Giving us traditional trouble here. Meanwhile, Malcolm Clack has raised it up with A7 suited. It's folded all the way around to Gordon Padiachi. Suited 10-4. He loves his suited cards. He's called. Kevin in the big blind with a 4-3. May or may not defend. He's come along for the value.
Well, nobody will see him coming with that hand, that's for sure.
Absolutely not.
Not any help for him there, though, unfortunately.
No help for him there.
So our A7 would be out in front with the high card.
Just with a high card, but there's nothing for anybody on that.
Nothing changes.
Check, check to the ace again.
Okay, I was going to say, Clacker needs the bet here.
Yeah.
That's 2 grand, I think.
2 grand, and I think you'll get 2 folds.
Joyce,
Well done.
please help me.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Not working at all.
No, no. The internet feed is so slow, it won't even open. So I don't want to drag the internet feed away
Yeah.
from the guys. So hence the reason I shut it down. We're actually going to shut it
Ladies
down
and
for the night.
gentlemen, there's 10 more minutes of the evening. 10 minutes
Right,
of
so
the
Michael will be
evening.
under the gun as we continue.
Mr. Clacker,
Just over 10 minutes of play left for the day. To the end of this level.
7-4 there in the muck.
Gentlemen, to get the hand you on in
Back
stock
round
away,
to,
please,
Martin.
the last hand of the evening.
What has Mr. Blonsky got for us?
It's been raised by Rob. Folded all the way around to Harold.
So Martin Maroon didn't call, he folded. Just so everybody knows.
And Harold has called and defended against the raise from Rob Blonsky. Just ignore the graphics for at this point. So 4 king 2 flops, no help to Harold. Harold now picks up a straight draw. Changes nothing. Harold shows 8 high. Pot goes across to Rob. Yeah, ace high.
And a 9 and a 10.
Okay, so apologies for the graphics there. Rob Blonsky did win that, but Martin Maroon did fold.
With the ace high.
Yeah.
Martin Maroon will be under the gun for the next hand. Hand number 36 since we started broadcasting the Super Slam event.
Seems like longer. Come on, Mjpt, speed it up. We want to be home for dinner.
Okay, Dave, go.
Okay, we're doing a draw for how many hands we're going to play, I think.
All right, so this is the draw to see how many hands we play till the close of play.
It's going to be 2, by the way, just so you know.
Gary the clairvoyant has been pretty accurate so far.
All right, guys, in the Super Slam, I'm going to ask our latest World Series of Poker bracelet winner, Michael Crusher, to draw for the last 2 hands for Los Angeles. 3 hands.
3 hands.
I told you to pick the one on the end, Clicker. I mean, seriously, don't listen.
So 3 hands till close of play.
I just don't want you to have your button. Thank you. You're going to be that guy. I just didn't want you to play your button.
Okay, Martin's under the gun.
Queen 2 off.
Will not be playing those, sir.
Not at this stage. Blonsky with the pocket 3s.
Crab hunting time.
It's going to raise. Gordon was a quick folder. Kevin likes the 9-7 suited. I think he'll come along. Harold with 8-7 offsuit in the small blind. Soldiers in the field. Complete. Round to Michael Clacker. King 3 off. He's looking at the price, but he says, no, I'll get rid of those at this stage.
Gone. 3 ways to the flop.
The
8,200.
sideways shake to the head was, I'm priced, but yeah, I don't like it. And it's discipline fold, Gary.
Indeed it was.
Because he hits his king, he wouldn't know where he stood.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to go 3 ways to the flop here.
Third last hand of the evening.
2 clubs, so that's a fruity one for Kevin.
Yeah, lovely flop for Kev.
And the pair, of course.
He's hit the second pair.
Needs to bet this, of course.
Gut shot for Harold.
8-5 in the pot, so he needs to be sticking about 4.5 minimum in here, maybe.
And there goes the bet. 5-5.
Yeah, that's fair enough. 2
That gets rid of the gut shot, gets rid of the pocket 3s.
What did you want to bet?
Kev said, I didn't want to bet that much, I wanted to keep you in.
So Harold Brooks folded.
11.5k to the good for Kevin. He's up to 300 bigs, 241,000.
So 2 more hands to go. Blinds are still at 4-8, 800 a big blind ante.
6,000, 12,000 in cash, blinds are 6,000, 12,000.
Right, so Rob will be under the gun, 9-2 suited. And the muck from that position. Gordon's a quick folder, we didn't even see his cards.
Kev with the 2s.
Pocket 2s for Kev. Raise. Exactly the giveaway. The 2-2, 2-2 is the
Yeah.
raise.
Harold's going to re-raise him here for sure.
Where absolutely he's going to get 3-bet strongly by Harold.
Maybe not. Just a flat.
Just a flat. Getting tricky there, Harold.
What chance a 2 on the flop?
Ace-9 for Martin in the big blind. Now price to call. Oh, he's put
push
the
it
baby in. Put the baby in. I think Kev gets away with the 2s.
Harold doesn't.
I think Harold doesn't get away with the 10s.
Mind you,
That's
it's
for
still-
Harold's whole stack, eh?
Yeah, it's still a lot of money for Harold.
Yeah, and Harold will bemoan the fact if he 3-bet there, then Martin wouldn't be doing that. Maximum pressure being applied by Martin. Says there's a raise and only a call, no re-raise. I can maybe push both off the hand. And he's done so.
Wow.
And that was purely because Harold flat called his 10s. If he 3-bet them as per normal, Martin's never doing that.
Unreal. Okay, gentlemen, ladies out there listening to the broadcast, this is your last hand of the night. Gordon Pariachi will be our under-the-gun player. And then at the end of this hand, everybody wants to get one, a bag at the end of play.
If you would like to come to the dealer and confirm with the dealer, do so. If the dealer does not sign next to your name, the chip dealer counters are not valid for the argument tomorrow morning.
Right, so Gordon under the gun, 6-3 suited. Normally likes those, maybe it's the last hand, he'll still have one last little flutter, and yes, and he's in. Kevin will fold his hand, Harold's quick folder. Michael will fold those from the button, round to Martin. Jack 2 off. It's going to complete.
Like a call.
Blonsky with pocket 9s will have none of this.
So this will go raise, fold, fold, and we'll all go home.
Blonsky has checked, Gary.
Oh my word, what did he do there? Trying to get clever. 2 overs.
Gordon's going to have a stab at it.
I do hope that he didn't have pocket 9s there, because that was bizarre.
Yeah,
Anyhow.
you know, if he got tricky in the last hand and decided to just check.
Why are they all sat there looking? That was the last hand, if I'm
Yeah.
right. Okay,
He's
so
waiting for the bags, the dealer.
well done to the tech team. Thank you very much for your work today. Thank you, Mark.
Thank
All
you,
good
Gary,
work.
for running our ship for us.
And we will be back tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, which is early for us because we have to start at 8. But there you go. Anyhow, it's good night from him and it's good night from me. It's good night from them. See you tomorrow.
Aqua Vida, the official water of the